Okay, it is Monday, February 10th. I hope everyone watched the first video of the overview of this rifle that came out on, I guess that was Saturday. Maybe it was Friday. So I said that the next video on this one was going to be the optics. So this is going to be quick, and we're going to the range. What you got? We went yesterday. What will be tomorrow for you guys? But this is what we went with. It's what was available. It is a Vortex Crossfire Gen 2 6 to 18 by 44. Now, before everyone goes and jumps on me about how this is not a precision rifle scope or calls it Vortex or anything like that, this is what I needed for this project. I got a great deal on it, sub $200, which there's not much else in that price range that I would legitimately consider. At least I know that here there is a warranty, there is some reputation to them, and it's less likely to be such a hit or miss like some of the other scopes in this price range. All right, so that's out there. No reason to comment on it. So why I put this scope on here, like I said, it's what was available. It fit my needs. Where I live, I don't get to shoot 1,000 yards. So having, some crazy Razor HD or Steiner or one of these, thousands of dollars scopes, it just doesn't make sense for shooting max 300 yards like I can do here. So other thing is I don't really need exposed target turrets because I don't shoot PRS. I'm not going to be dialing up and down and up and down and up and down. And once I dial this thing in at 100 yards, I'll just use the bullet drop compensator in the reticle. So again, just putting that out there. So this is where we're at. So I think I mentioned in the video the other day that this nice one-piece base came on it. It looks like a 0 MOA, which is fine. I don't shoot this rifle far enough to really need that much added elevation. I think in the original video I called it a steel base. After inspecting it and reinstalling it with Loctite and things like that, it's definitely a one-piece aluminum base, which is fine because I've got aluminum rings mounting to it. So I know you're not supposed to mix steel with aluminum and things like that. So it's on there. It's torqued. It's tight. It's been degreased and all that. It's straight. I sat it on the a flat surface, and there was no wobble to it or anything like that. I figured being kind of a mass machine type thing, could be out of spec or something like that, but there's no wobble. It's tight on the gun, so we'll see how it holds up. Initial impression on the scope is that it is pretty clear. I've never had one of the Crossfire lines scoped, but I've read reviews, and like I said, I had an opportunity to get a great deal on it, brand new in the box. Came with the 4-inch sunshade. I don't know if I'll keep it on there permanently, but at least for the purpose of the video, it looks cool. So anyway, that's where we're at. I've got 3 different types of ammos that we're going to go to the range. Like I said, we actually went yesterday, Sunday, but that video will come out, I guess, tomorrow, or I'll put it up later this week. So this is where we're at. There's a couple of things. I spent, some time this weekend, like I mentioned, adjusting the X-Mark Pro trigger, getting it where I wanted. I didn't mess with the sear engagement at all, but I did lighten the pull down, which I guess I should point out to people that are considering getting this. You will void your warranty with this trigger if you send it in and that protective coating that I mentioned in the first video has been removed from the adjustment screws. So mine, like I mentioned in the video the other day, you can see it does not have that hole here in the top of the trigger for that little 1/16 Allen adjustment. So if you have that, you're allowed to adjust it. but not the other two screws up in the body. That's why they put that clear epoxy over them so they can tell if it's been altered. Like I mentioned, if something happens with this trigger, I'm not that pressed. I'll just throw it away and buy a Timney. But so the other day, kind of going through the rifle, I've got it very crisp. There is zero movement, zero take up, zero over travel. Let me see if I can just show you guys real quick without knocking the gun over. I'm not actually in my gun room right now. But first of all, you can see gun is completely empty. Okay. I'm the only adult that has action to this, so, or has access to this, so ammo didn't jump into it or anything. Where was I? So I've got it pretty crisp. It is, I think, let me see if you can, let me go. I don't know if this is a very good example, but you can see that, so I'm pushing on it right now. There's no movement in the trigger. And then when I actually get ready, that's it. I don't know if you can just see that little bit of, so that's me releasing the trigger. So right there's all the way back. That's all the way forward. That's the only movement that trigger has, which is phenomenal. And even though I lightened it, I bounced this rifle on the carpet in my gun room for a good 10 minutes, and I could not get the sear to drop. So it's still at a safe weight. And like I said, I did not adjust the sear engagement at all, which I don't recommend you do. Leave that to a professional, because it only takes screwing it up once or thinking you have it right and then going off in the field to make something that's supposed to be fun a really bad day. So, a couple other observations real quick. The other day I mentioned that fit and finish of this rifle was actually really surprising, and how much I really liked this wide forend on it. So I did the dollar bill test, and this barrel right now is not free floated all the way. Right up here, sorry for the shadow there, right up in this area, the bill binds up pretty good, especially in this area right here where the barrel and this forend actually come together. So I'm going to shoot it as is with the sort of asterisk on it that I know that's likely going to make a difference. So, but you never know. Some barrels like some tension on them, others don't. So we'll see what happens. But just pointing that out ahead of time. Here from the other day, you can see a slightly better. Come on, there we go. I'm trying not to tip the gun over. I just have it leaning against a rest. So there, I mentioned the other day, it's clearly threaded, has this nice kind of knurled thread protector on it, so that way it doesn't become too tight. I need to put some like anti-seize on there, just between the barrel heating up and cooling and heating up and cooling and things like that. I don't want those threads to bind up at all. So anyway, quick update. I probably spoke more than I should have today, but that's where we're at. Vortex Crossfire 2, 6 to 18 by 44, 1 inch. They're loop-holed rings. I don't know if I mentioned that. All said and done, you can, if you go pay what, say like Dick's or Amazon or something like that once, you can have these rings and this scope for under $250 to your front door and on your rifle. I don't know if because this is a tactical model, if that's why it came with a scope base. Yeah, so it's not a massive investment in optics, but I don't have a lot invested in the gun. I got it on a sale price at a location that is getting rid of their gun section, so it was already discounted. I got the scope at a great price. So that's it, and stay tuned for the results of the grouping for the first outing, and we'll go from there. If you guys have positive things to say, if you have negative things to say, it doesn't matter to me. I welcome all comments, and if you look at other videos, I'm typically pretty good about responding because there's only like 6 of you who comment. So if you want me to keep making stuff, I will. All right, see ya.